right, Shellheads, welcome back. Guys, amazing news has dropped. One of the best pieces of Turtles storytelling in a long time is about to become a video game. It was announced that there is going to be a God of War inspired TMNT The Last Ronin game coming out as a triple A action game. For those of you that don't know, there was a hit comic book series that we are going to be covering here on the channel called The Last Ronin, which is essentially kind of like the Dark Knight of Turtles storytelling. It's meant to be a capstone to the original comics run from back in the Mirage Comics day. It is honestly some of the best overall storytelling, and it's dark and it's gritty and it's awesome. It's honestly everything that I love about my era, the era of turtle storytelling that introduced me into the turtles. To hear that story is going to become a video game that's going to be inspired from the God of War franchise. Awesome. Most of the time with Turtles video games, it's been centered around being the Turtles in their plurality. And for those of you that don't know, The Last Ronin follows one single turtle. We're not going to go there just yet because we're going to cover all of that within the actual story. But this is going it sounds like this is going to be a single player turtles game set in that world. So Polygon broke the news in an interview with Doug Rosen, who's the senior vice president of games and emerging media at Paramount, who is the distributor for turtles content. The developers are still being held under wraps. That hasn't been stated yet. Rosen indicated that the goal is to basically create a AAA action title that would draw heavily from the comic book source material. And that's awesome news because there's so much there. One of the big things that was left behind from The Last Ronin is we want more storytelling in this world. And it's notable that The Last Ronin was the first collaboration in a lot of years between the TMNT creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And that showed in the quality of the storytelling. And like I said, it's based on an unproduced story that they created from the 80s that was meant to essentially be The Dark Knight Returns, but in a bleak futuristic TMNT universe and act as a 20 years in the future story of their version of the turtles. And part of what made it so great is it actually came out about 20 years after the fact. To hear that this is coming out, awesome. Rosen indicated that the game is going to break from the TMNT tradition of only focusing on one single character, though I would wager that there's a possibility that there could be flashback sequences that would lean upon some cameos from other turtles. I would guess that most of it's going to be centered around the last Ronin himself. There's not a lot else that's known. And honestly, guys, there's so many different pieces to this that man, if it's centered around just telling the story in video game form of The Last Ronin, fine. If it's centered around telling other stories within that world, fine. Honestly, there's so much meat on the bone there that I would be cool with any of it. So what I want you to do is sound off down in the comment section and let me know what you guys want to see out of this title. Let me know what you guys would be interested in from this kind of story. And are you excited for this video game because, guys, I absolutely am. So, until next time, take it easy, Shellheads.